Hey everyone, what's up and welcome to the channel. Today we are back and we are playing some more XDEFIANT. We're going to be getting into what I feel are some of the best settings you could be using for the launch of the game. There are quite a few settings, none of which are too complicated, but we go over everything from mouse and keyboard settings to controller settings to even video settings. So it doesn't matter what input you play and what platform you play on, we go over everything. Obviously, if you play on console, some of these settings won't be there, but you don't have to worry about them because you're not able to control them. So yeah, we're gonna get into this. If this video helps you out, a like is always appreciated, and subscribe because we will be posting tons of XDEFIANT content. If you don't want to miss it, turning on notifications is the best way to do so. I appreciate the support you guys have been showing, and I look forward to making more videos. So let's get into this, man. Really quickly though, before we get into the settings, I do want to ask you guys, and please do let me know in the comments, which of these factions have you guys been maining the most? Honestly, a lot of them are fun. I've been leaning towards Echelon. They probably got the most of my playtime, and I've been seeing a pretty interesting mix. I've been seeing a lot of cleaners, a lot of phantoms, and a lot less healers actually since the full launch of the game. But yeah, let me know what you guys are playing. I'm very interested. I like finding people's mains. If I go to my profile stats and I go to my career stats, you guys can see Echelon has like all of my playtime, and then Libertad, Phantoms, everything else is less than 1 hour. But yeah, let's get into these settings. Like I said, there's not too much to stress about, but gameplay input, I personally play on mouse and keyboard as my main input. This game is nice. It does have input specific lobbies, but I also play on controller. I am sponsored by Scuff. We do have a code with them if you guys want to get what I believe to be the best rollers on the market. They have paddles. They allow you to click all face buttons without having to take your fingers off the movement sticks. You can use code Staycation or the link in the description. I'll have that down there. Getting into field of view, I play on 120. I highly recommend you play on max FOV. 120 is actually really nice that the game offers that. But if you play it on something as small as 60, it's going to shrink your screen space. So you're basically zooming in more to what your field of view is. The upside to this is that targets are bigger and you can see easier, but you can see less of what's around you. So 120 is the advantage. Now you know the upsides and downsides to a larger and smaller FOV. ADS field of view, I have this on consistent. I want my ADS FOV to be consistent with my out of ADS FOV. My ADS behavior, I have this on hold. I know some mouse and keyboard players keep it on toggle because it's less stress on your aiming hand if you do aim with your right mouse click, but that's another setting we're gonna get into later. I personally play on hold. ADS sensitivity transition, I like instant. Whether you play on controller, mouse and keyboard, the moment you click ADS, I want that ADS sense to kick in. I don't want it to be dependent on animation in game. If I'm clicking a button, I know what I'm getting. Melee during ADS, I personally like this on because if a guy's in your face out of nowhere and you needed to panic melee, I mean, you have the option of being able to. I can see why some people would maybe want this off, because if they do accidentally panic melee in their ADSing, it wouldn't take them out of their ADS, so it wouldn't affect them. It's kind of what you prefer based on your gameplay. I personally like it on. Aiming interrupts reload, I keep this on. This is something that can be seen as like, oh, that's bad because it could cancel your reload. But at the same time, it's like if an enemy jumped in your face and you were reloading with 10 bullets left in your magazine, you wouldn't have to worry about doing anything to cancel the animation. You could literally just straight up ADS and then shoot them down with the rest of your magazine. So it's good in emergency situations. Crouch behavior, I prefer this to be on hold. This doesn't affect your slide. This is strictly for your crouch. And I've played so much Apex in my life. I don't know, holding the crouch, I feel like it gives you more control. You don't have to click to go down, release, click to go back up, release. It's less input for this more control. So yeah, keeping it on hold is important to me. Sprint behavior, I personally keep this on hold. I like it on mouse and keyboard because, like I said, if I have to hold shift on my keyboard, the moment I let go, I stop sprinting. Hold is often more control, so that's why I use that. Auto sprint, I know there's a lot of people who like this out there, and especially for controller players, it does save your joysticks a bunch and can honestly prevent oncoming stick drift that is always inevitable in any controller. Personally on mouse and keyboard, I like it off. Do with it what you will. I once again personally just like it off because more control. Sprint interrupts reload. This I definitely like off because if I'm sprinting, I want to be able to reload while sprinting. So definitely have that off. Slide behavior, I keep this on hold. If you put it on hold, it actually creates more of an input in order to activate a slide. It doesn't work like the same as a hold to crouch. So keep this on tap when you're running and you tap crouch while sprinting, you're gonna initiate an instant slide. Auto reload weapon, I like this off. Once again, this is a very personal setting. I'm not gonna say that it's better to have it off because I can actually see scenarios where you might want it on. I actually might even change it to on at some point in my time playing this game. Essentially, when you empty your magazine, it'll automatically start reloading. I don't like this because it's always kind of reminds me of the auto switch weapons where you run out of bullets and then it auto switches your weapon. That messes me up because sometimes I'll switch weapons and then if it's swapped, it's swapped back. But I use number keys anyways. It's not that big of a problem. I just like it off. More control. I know what's happening. Nothing is going to catch me off guard, but I can see why people would like to auto reload on. Auto switch weapons, I also have off. Auto grab ledge, I like this off. I don't want to be grabbing anything on accident while falling past it if that ever did happen. I only want to grab stuff if I click it by jumping, so I keep this off. Walk behavior, I keep this on hold. There is a function where you can hold or toggle to be able to walk in game. I don't really see why you'd ever even need to be able to walk in game, so this is an important setting. Scoreboard behavior, I also like this on hold. If I'm checking my scoreboard and I get shot at, I just want to be able to let go of the button, be able to react rather than getting stuck in. I panic clicked it twice, so I'm still stuck in the scoreboard. That would just be bad. Like I said, all these are just a little bit over, like, I'm just kind of getting overkill competitive into just gameplay and UI settings, but user interface settings, this one's actually pretty important. Adjust HUD limits. If you guys see here and I shrink this down, this basically makes it so this space here is pushing in your HUD. So like if you had your mini map here, if I increase this all the way to 100, this makes it so that the mini map can be as far as all the way out here to the edge of the screen. You're pushing your HUD in. At the end of the day, it can be dependent on what you're playing on. If you're playing on a giant flat screen TV, like an 80-inch television, it could actually be beneficial to push your horizontal in because then you won't have to look, like you wouldn't have to turn your head to go look at your HUD all the way on the other side of your TV that's 80 inches big. And like if you push it in, you'd be able to just stay within your eye range. But yeah, I play on a monitor. I'm pushing this as far out as possible. It gives me the most real estate to look at on my actual screen, like what I want to be seeing and reacting to enemies and, you know, cover. So I keep that all on max, including the vertical one, because this can also be pinched in. Moving on, we got challenge notifications. I just keep these on. Damage numbers off. That's just going to be visual clutter in my opinion. Enemy health bars are fantastic. I think they're not really intrusive. They rest above the target's head. They're out of the way. And yeah, it shows a good job at how weak an enemy is. Minimap rotation. This setting is bugged because if you have it off, the minimap will rotate it. If you have it on, it'll be locked, but it says the inverse in the settings here. So like I said, I play on rotation. You want it on, make sure the setting is off right now upon launch. Distance units, I use meters. Honestly, yards isn't bad either because I've played football on a football field. That's all we say is yards, but meters is what I go by. FPS display, definitely recommend you turn this on. I personally have an FPS counter built into my monitor overlay, so I just leave it off because I always have something there. But ping is also important. I keep that on. You can see it up here in the top left. It says ping 48, 47, and your region as well. Everything else, network diagnostics overlay and team composition overlay, I just keep these off. I don't want too much up there. So that's it for gameplay and UI settings. Honestly, quite a bit to go over there. But we're gonna get onto my mouse and keyboard settings now. I do have some pretty interesting settings that might make you scratch your head a little, but they're preference to me. And these are my settings, not the best settings. This is just what I like to stand by. Mouse and keyboard sensitivity, this is at 18 in game. If you're wondering what this is in centimeters per 360, this is it's exactly 35 centimeters per 360. If you took a ruler out and you measured out 35 centimeters from 0 to 35, that'll do a full 360. ADS sensitivity multiplier on low zoom and high zoom, I just keep that locked at a 1.0. Mouse acceleration, definitely have this turned off. You don't want to be dictating different sensitivities based on the speed at which you move your mouse. That would be bad. Invert vertical axis, keep it off. Right click back. I like this because if I right click on my mouse, I can now navigate through my menus and go back rather than having to click escape on my keyboard all the time. Lock mouse to game window, I like this on as well, just so that if I'm moving my mouse, it stays within the actual frame of my game. Moving on to my key bindings, I use WASD for movement. Mouse wheel down is for move forward. This is completely overkill. Unless there's a reason to take this off in game, I never do take it off because it's how you tap strafe in Apex. I just kind of set it there by default. There's nothing else to really put on mouse wheel down unless you want to. So you don't have to put that on. It's just something I do by default. Sprinting / holding breath ADS. I sprint with left shift, but I also have an alt key bound there because I like to hold breath with left alt. This is because on my aiming key, I use left control. I don't use my mouse to ADS. This is actually my crouch key. I ADS with my keyboard hand, and it makes it so that there's less pressure on my mouse hand. We were talking about how some people like to tap to ADS on their mouse because this way you click it and then you're in ADS, so it takes less pressure on off your mouse hand. But I use this, so it's kind of a workaround, but I can't really hold shift if I'm holding control with my pinky, so that's why I have hold breath on alt. Fire weapon, left mouse button right here. Reload, I have that on R. Jump mantle, space with mouse wheel up for an alternate jump. Crouching and sliding, this is on my right mouse button. Kind of a weird bind, but I really do like it. It's very fluid. Left interact on my side mouse button, and the rest of it's pretty basic. This is all pretty much default from here. Oh, actually no, my activate ability and my ultra ability are on C and V. This is so I never have to take my fingers off my movement keys because I could use my thumb. Same with my grenade on X and my force walk on B. Like I said, you're never really going to be walking. As for the rest of it, these are pretty much default. The only thing I've binded is full screen map on F. I like being able to see your entire map during gameplay. That is actually a really useful feature rather than only relying on the mini map. Can be useful. Moving on to controller settings now, which is what I know a lot of you guys play on. Most people play on controller, and this is a very controller based game. A button layout, I use default. Like I said, I play on a SCUF controller, and so all my face buttons are on the back of my controller. So sliding and jumping can all be done without ever taking my thumbs off the joystick. I also can see how some people would like to change their button layout though, in case you have a default DualShock controller or a DualSense controller with the PS5 and you want to be able to bind your ability to slide on your right joystick. You can do that by changing the button layouts. Aim assist, I prefer standard, just standard aim assist. I mean, you can turn it off if you're an absolute Chad, but honestly, I don't know why you would ever turn off aim assist on a controller. That's literally why you play controller. Aim assist response curve type, linear is incredibly effective in this game. The difference between the response curves, standard response curves generally in 9.9 out of 10 FPSs is a J curve. If you have a graph, it starts off slow your sense, and then it spikes up the more you move it to the edge. So it starts slow, so you can make micro adjustments at range really effectively, and the more you turn your stick, you'll turn it around. It'll speed up so you can turn around quicker. Linear is like, it's 1-to-1. What you touch your stick at in the beginning is what it's going to be at the end. It's the closest thing you get to playing mouse and keyboard on a controller, and this is what I prefer. It's what is it runs the Apex world, and response S curve is basically dynamic from Call of Duty. It's a reverse S curve. This is also a very good curve. This runs the Call of Duty world, and I mean, it's not a bad option, but I personally am gonna stick by linear. Horizontal sensitivity, I play, well, I guess you could consider it a slow sensitivity, but it feels quicker on linear. A horizontal sense of 25, and I like my ADS senses to be 0.75 of my sense. 75%. In terms of my dead zones, I like to keep these as small as possible, but I don't like dealing with stick drift, and I'm able to achieve that on my controller with a 5-5 dead zone on the left and right sticks. Yeah, you want these as small as possible. You don't want any dead spots in your controller where input isn't detected. In terms of acceleration speed multiplier, I keep this on a 1.0. Inverted access and invert vertical access, I keep these off unless that's something you prefer. And then controller vibration, make sure I'm gonna show, I purposely kept this on because I want to show you turn this off, okay? When you play basketball, you don't like someone shaking you while you throw a basketball. When you shoot in video games, you don't want someone shaking your controller while you shoot in video games. So turn controller vibration off, okay? I showed you how to click the button. Audio and voice chat, these are very basic settings. The only thing I've made custom to me is I keep my music volume all the way off. Everything else is up to 100. Dialogue volume, I'm pretty sure there are sometimes dialogue volume things during game that might be competitively advantageous to have you hearing. I'm not even sure that exists in this game, but in the rare case it is, I like to have it on. If you do notice there isn't anything useful coming through other than random yelling and blabbering, I would honestly maybe even just turn this off. But this is my audio settings for now, not super important. Voice chat, turn it on if you're playing competitive. Don't be the guy with no mic. Video and graphics, these settings, very important. I play on full screen. I play 2560 by 1440. I have a 240 hertz monitor, so make sure you set your refresh rate to what your monitor is. Otherwise, if I had a 240 hertz monitor and I lock this at 60, I'm only going to be getting 60 FPS, which would be really bad. So definitely have this all the way up, or not all the way up, to what your monitor is. Display monitor, this is choosing your monitor. Triple buffering, I keep this off. Reduced latency, I keep this on. And my NVIDIA Reflex low latency, I keep this on as well. Some people like on plus boost. I heard there isn't really any difference between on and on plus boost. This is just more intensive on your PC. And I like to match my in-game NVIDIA Reflex low latency setting to what I have set in my NVIDIA control panel, my actual computer settings. My brightness, I have this on 10, contrast 15. These are both default. DX12, I turn this on. I actually find the game runs better on DX12. If you have this off, it's set to DX11. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it's DX11. Graphics quality, I have this on custom VSync mode, off. Frame rate limit, it's off. Shadow quality, everything's low. My settings are very, very low. My resolution scales on 100%. Sharpening on 5, which is default. Particle detail, everything under the sun here is set to low. I'm just gonna very slowly scroll so you can see all this. Subsurface scattering, I have that off as well. Everything set to 0. Lens flare off. You do not want lens flare, it's just extra visual clutter. Water quality low, chromatic aberration off, and my terrain quality set to low. All you need to know is how to keep it low, okay? That's all my video and graphics settings. Once again, I'm gonna go through this really slowly one more time just in case I did skip over a single setting. You guys like to see everything. Language and accessibility. Once again, some of this stuff just isn't important, but unless you need it. Colorblind mode, I have this off. There is one setting in here that I find very preference-based, bright and dark flashbang settings. People like dark flashbang settings because it's not blinding. If you're playing in a dark room at night, you're not gonna get literally flashbanged and be like, bing, with a big bright light. But at the same time, I don't like having dark on because I've dealt with a lot of video game crashes in the history, and if I get flashbanged, I don't want to throw my hands up in there and be like, oh, my game crashed because my screen goes black. So I keep this on bright still, and yeah, normal, off for menu narration. Everything else here is just default. Chat audio cues on, blah, blah, blah. Matchmaking an account, I have crossplay on, and I have input-based matchmaking on. If you have input-based matchmaking off, it'll mix you with mouse and keyboard players if you're on controller, and if you're on mouse and keyboard, it'll mix you with controller players. So have this on if you only want to play against the input you play on. And crossplay, I'm pretty sure there is mouse and keyboard support on some of the consoles. I've heard there's issues getting it to work or something like that, but whenever that does come into play, just know that there is a difference between the input-based matchmaking and the crossplay, because there could be mouse and keyboard players on console as well, and they would get thrown into PC lobbies. Or mouse and keyboard lobbies on PC. And then the credits, man. I'm not going to click that because that's going to play the credits. That is all the settings. That was very in-depth. I hope that went over absolutely everything under the sun for you. I hope it helped you out. I hope it helps you get into your XDefiant experience without having to worry about any of the things going on behind the scenes, and allows you to play the best of your ability and enjoy your matches. But yeah, if you guys enjoyed the settings, a like rating is always appreciated. And I do have a great MP7 match from yesterday where we honestly were popping off, man. I was hitting some crazy beams. I hope you guys enjoyed this match. I just thought I'd share a game after these settings to show you what they look like in practice. But I do stream every day on Twitch as well. Link to that will be in the description. That's where you guys can catch me playing and streaming these games live every day. And yeah, thanks so much, man. I'll catch you guys at the end of the video. Have a fantastic rest of your day. May these settings do wonders for you. And yeah, have a great rest of your day, man. Keep up, stay up. Let's do this.
We're locking down the zone. Capture zone.
I'm just switching it out.
Zone compromised.
I'm not like
Target
sticking
down.
to one thing.
Boy.
You guys play one. Don't wait for me.
Yeah, but the hell they know I'm echelon main, you know? Yeah.
For the garage, dude. Beyond us. Oh shit. Thank you. Save my life.
I need a medic! Engaging camo!
We're
got
on
that.
the zone.
MB7 actually different. It's like it's just so
Yes.
accurate, bro. That's the
Just
thing with it.
shreds, and it just shreds.
Capture zone is moving.
Like the
Send new
damage fall off
locations to your
isn't
OPSAT
like
now. The zone's in
barely any.
danger.
Well, like it is there, but like you know what I mean.
What the fuck? Oh man. I got hoed.
Say I got hoed.
Yep.
Capture zone is moving.
Engaging camo!
We're on the zone. The zone's in danger.
Nice.
Engaging camo!
Capture zone contested. We're on the zone.
Can you raise? One. Where that fucker go?
One.
Capture zone is moving. Sending new location to your OPSAT now.
Going dark!
We're on the zone. Ultra ready.
Can anyone provide...
No, I didn't think he'd find me there, chat. Damn.
Capture zone is moving.
Engaging camo!
Nice man.
Activating sonar!
No.
We're facing mission zone, changing location. We're locking down the zone.
Engaging camo!
The zone's in danger. Capture zone contested.
One guy's just going the most random ways.
Zone under a...
Engaging camo!
Oh, I got 3. My ult didn't pull.
We're locking down the zone.
Engaging camo! Swapping mag!
Boom.
My ping.
Grenades away!
Going dark!
Zone changing location.
I actually like that ping does that now.
Capture zone contested.
what does what?
We're on the zone.
Like, if my ping is bad, it'll kick me. It says just certain.
Oh yeah.
Like, most games, you'll teleport
winning.
and
Keep it
people
up,
will
agent.
hate it. You know what I mean? I'd rather let me and say, look, dude, your internet's messing up.
I need a medic!
You little
New
sticky
our
bitch, bro.
zone changing coordinates. The zone's in danger.
Oh, get fucking shit on, bro.
Frag out! I need a medic!
Not even pulling up.
Tango dispatch.
Playlist.
the zone.
Engaging camo.
Zone compromised.
No, no, no.
I need a medic. I see you.
We're locking down the zone. This off's about to end, Agent.
Too easy.
Just over here admiring your handiwork.
I'm ready when you guys are.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Holy dude. Holy dude. Ooh.
Zone location changing.
Staycation? Going
Protect
crazy?
the zone.
What?
Reloading.
Son of a bitch. Oh, I'm fucking dead. I'm so dead. I'm not dead.
Zone under attack.
Oh! Ah! Oh my god, this game isn't even close to done yet, which is the crazy part. Just let him have this, no?
Zone location changing.
Oh, beside us, Reese.
I need a medic.
Fuck, I'm dead.
Protect the
I'm
zone.
not dead. We're good.
Engaging camo.
It's crazy that I'm the only person that like Eve.
We're locking down the zone. Five, 4,
3,
3,
2.
2, 1.
The way
You
they
got
like
to
clip hang
win,
the countdown.
Agent.
Dude, Raze, there was a fucking clip I hit during that game. Is gross.
Guess there
Bro,
are
you
guys still in a
ways to
match or
blow your
no?
cover.
They just finished.
Just finished.
Oh, okay.
Pop off, team. Boom!